flowers of friendship from Riverside are now in full bloom. Roses are smiling at the people of Sendai. Besides these flowers, there is another tie between the two cities. We can see the never-ending happiness and gratitude on the faces of young Japanese students pursuing knowledge under the support of the Riverside Scholarship. There is no boundary in friendship. The people of Sendai send their greetings and best wishes to the people of Riverside, California. This is John Kimura, on leave from East Los Angeles College, and currently with Tohoku University under the auspices of the Fulbright Educational Exchange Program, reporting from Sendai. Grateful acknowledgement is expressed to the American Cultural Center for their assistance in the production of this film. Sendai entered brotherhood across the Pacific Ocean with Riverside in 1957. Sendai is located in the northeastern part of Japan, about 250 miles north of Tokyo. Sendai has been growing continuously as the center of traffic in northern Japan. The district centering around Sendai is about 800 miles from north to south and is called the Tohoku region. Sendai has been growing as the center of culture, economics, and politics in this territory. With the advent of limited express trains and airplanes, the distance between Tokyo and Sendai has become shorter, and Sendai, under a favorable geographical environment, has absorbed the flow of modernization. Sendai is an epitome of Japan. Sendai has a long history and was one of the most prosperous towns during feudal times. 3 centuries ago, landlord Masamune Date established the basis of the present Sendai as his castle town. The city surrounded by greenery is affectionately called the City of Woods. It has produced many nationally known cultural leaders. The city changes its costume by the season. With the serene murmur of the Hirose River running westward, the old heritage and traditions still live in the heart of the people in Sendai. The park in the center of the city, decorated with flower beds and a spring, is visited by many citizens every day. The concern for the beauty of the city is instilled in the heart of all its citizens from childhood. Many problems such as roads, public sanitation, and city planning are discussed and settled by Mayor Shimano and his staff, representing 6,000 city employees. The declaration for the establishment of a healthy city is one of the most important administrative policies. This declaration, which aims to create a healthy, sanitary city from a squalid one, was made public here before other municipalities in Japan. A sweeping day was established in commemoration of the declaration of a healthy city. All participate in the cleaning of streets on the 16th of every month. A group headed by the mayor begins cleaning at 6 o'clock in the morning. 450,000 citizens joined and disposed of 100 tons of trash. The old and the young beautify the city where they live. Cheerful-looking people relaxing by the peace statue in front of the prefectural office. There are many cultural facilities in Sendai. The Miyagi Prefectural Government Office is located near the Sendai City Office. About a half a mile west of the city office, the Sendai Citizens Public Hall, a sanctuary of culture in West Park, faces the Hirose River. In a corner of West Park, the city library is set in a quiet environment. The library helps to satisfy students' thirst for knowledge. This astronomical observatory is one of the cultural facilities of which the people are proud. The 16-inch telescope invites the universe. Tohoku University contributes immensely to Sendai's reputation as the center of culture in northern Japan. The newly built city museum in the castle grounds offers cultural enjoyment. Sendai is symbolized by old traditions and history. The people are ardent hikers from spring to fall. The Yasoen, which is the natural garden of the city, is one of the many areas for recreation. Bush clover is the city flower, representing natural beauty. Children swarm to the city pool. All during the humid summer, the laughing voices of the healthy children may be heard. The double arc type dam situated 8 miles from the city ensures sufficient water for domestic use, factories, schools, and swimming pools. The vast reservoir of the dam is a paradise for anglers. Ancestor worship and reverent prayers are a carryover from age-old traditions. There are many shrines, temples, and churches. This is Osaki Hachiman Shrine, which was built in the Momoyama era, which still maintains its representative architectural beauty and is designated as a national treasure. Festivals of shrines and temples are important annual events. The Aoba Festival, a memorial service which is held in May for the late landlord Masamune Date, is the most famous. Vestiges of former glory can be seen by the costumes worn by the processionists. Imposing figures of samurai dressed in armor, which have been passed on for many centuries, are the most popular among children. The Star Festival, the most colorful event of Sendai, takes place in early August. This Star Festival is known not only in northern Japan, but nationally and internationally. The entire city is gay with 7 colored paper decorations. A contest for the most beautiful decoration is held. All the streets in the city change to tunnels of colored paper decorations hanging from bamboo poles. The history of the Star Festival traces back to very olden times, originating as a prayer service to the god of the rice fields. During the 3 days of the festival, more than 1 million people, including foreign sightseers, swarm Sendai. Of dancers in Japanese kimono dance through the tunnel of paper decorations, adding charm to the festival. A typical summer festival is the Numaoi Festival. This is a cavalry festival which is held in Haranomachi City, 40 miles south of Sendai. Young men dressed in armor flock to the hill in the outskirts of the city. The riders gallop their horses to scramble for the shrine flag, which is shot into the sky. With deafening shouts, battlefields of olden days are recreated. Sendai is a serene city filled with traditions and time-honored customs. Spiritual heritage from their ancestors are in part brought forth by the Daruma dolls. A place of repose can be found in a Japanese garden. A beautiful pond is filled with iris. Stepping on stones gives the feeling of walking through the riverside town of ancient Sendai. The tea ceremony symbolizes the Japanese sentiment wabi. Wabi is, in other words, the beauty of composition. This ceremony reveals a rigid aesthetic discipline. Every movement of each participant has a long and meaningful history. From childhood, Japanese girls are taught the tea ceremony to learn of the spirit of Japanese womanhood. The tea ceremony is regarded as representing the Japanese outlook of life. Sendai has also developed as a trade center in northern Japan. The city faces the sea with its rice fields. With upland fields in its rear, Sendai is also a commercial center. The central fish market is located in the eastern part of the city. Sashimi, or raw fish, is one of the native dishes of Japan. There are colorful vegetable and fruit markets. Amid cheerful callings, fresh vegetables and fruit are traded in a lively manner. Sendai has prospered not only as a commercial city, but also as a city of agriculture and livestock production. Japan's agriculture places a great emphasis on the production of rice, which is the staple food. The green belt of paddy fields symbolize the best rice-producing district in Japan. In the past, rice cultivation had been manual, but today machines are replacing manual labor. Agricultural research has increased production. Sendai held a Riverside Festival in October 1962. Mr. and Mrs. Rosencrans, Mr. and Mrs. Bertelson, and Mr. and Mrs. Newman came from Riverside, California for the occasion. At the reception, Chairman Hayasaka of the City Assembly expressed the city's welcome to the guests. Messages from both of the cities were exchanged, and a Japanese doll was presented to the people of Riverside. After the commemoration exercises, a Riverside exhibit was presented at the Hikachi Family Center. The display hall was soon crowded by those who came to appreciate the beautiful pictures depicting Riverside. The second exhibition was at the Marumitsu department store, where the artwork of Riverside children was displayed. The paintings and models displayed impressed the Japanese children, and without doubt, friendship between the children of both cities was deepened. The relationship between both cities will be tied through the hands of these children. The flower seeds, which were also sent from Riverside, were displayed and did much to grace the festival. The guests from Riverside called on Chairman Hayasaka's home. As Mr. Hayasaka visited Riverside during the previous year, they spent happy hours looking through his photo album, recalling his visit. Mrs. Hayasaka, dressed in a kimono, served Japanese confections with traditional Japanese household articles in the Japanese room overlooking the garden. They were invited to an outdoor tea ceremony in Mr. Nida's garden. The girls made tea under a red sunshade, and the guests sipped tea in the manner of the tea ceremony. Mrs. Nida guided the guests to the tea house in the corner of the garden where they learned the meaning of shibui, a unique Japanese feeling of beauty. The Date clan ruled the Tohoku area for over 350 years. About 1600 A.D., Masamune, the founder of the Date clan, constructed his castle on Aoba Hill. The site of the castle is now a city park, and a statue of warrior Masamune stands on the grounds and watches over Sendai City. The whole city can be seen from the castle ground beyond the beautiful Hirose River. A distant view of Shiogama Harbor, islands of Matsushima, and the Pacific Ocean can also be enjoyed. This is Mr. Shoji's residence. Mr. Shoji is an average Sendaian. Typical Japanese home life and common Japanese household articles are observed. The guests were especially interested in the Japanese kimono and the handicraft made by Mrs. Shoji. Matted rooms, iron kettle, tea, confections, everything had a Japanese feeling. Souls of the dead ancestors are all enshrined in the beautifully decked family Buddhist shrine. Shiogama City, which is located 12 miles east of Sendai, was visited. A number of factories under construction among rice fields, farms, and residential sections can be seen. The national government will soon designate the vast coastal area facing the Pacific Ocean, including Sendai and Shiogama, as a new industrial section. Shiogama City has a population of 60,000 and is Sendai's port. It is very important not only as a fishing center, but also as a commercial port which handles great quantities of freight. Oysters cultivated in Matsushima Bay are exported to the United States from this port. Stone steps lined by cryptomeria trees lead to the Shiogama Shrine, which is situated on a hill of this harbor town. The god to whom the shrine is dedicated is worshipped as the guardian god of marriage and birth. The girls wearing white kimono and scarlet pleated skirts are miko, or maidens in the service of the Shinto shrine. At the shrine, the visitors draw sacred fortunes. The tourists also feed pigeons which live in the compound of the shrine. Fortunately, a bride proceeding to her wedding ceremony was seen. The harbor of Shiogama is located in Matsushima Bay. The beauty of the bay is said to be one of the three most scenic places in Japan from ancient days. The bay is dotted with more than 250 islands, large and small, each capped with pine trees. This is Zuiganji Temple, a national treasure. It was constructed over 350 years ago. The guests boarded a boat at the pier of the picturesque Park Hotel to take a cruise in and around the Pine Islands. A tour around the islands is always interesting. The bay offers protection from the open sea for sightseeing, yachting, and fishing. Year after year, tides, waves, and winds have eroded and carved these hundreds of islands into fantastic shapes. The colors of island rocks produce a serene beauty in harmony with the green pine trees. The rafts in the bay are oyster beds, while the bamboo stakes are for the purpose of gathering seaweed. Both seaweed and oysters are noted products in this area. Here and there, between the oyster beds, fishermen are seen in small boats. As night approaches, Sendai becomes a glittering array of neon. The lights of small local shops, as well as large national industries, illuminate the city. Winter brings gentle snows to Sendai. The city is enveloped in a quiet blanket of white. During the long winters in northeastern Japan, skiing is a favorite outdoor sport. The mountains near Sendai are a favorite winter playground. The pride of the Tohoku region is majestic Mount Zao, 6,200 feet above sea level. Visitors are attracted from as far away as Tokyo. Sendai is a beautiful city. Similar to her sister city, Riverside, she commands a view of hills and mountains. In autumn, the streets of Sendai are tinged with the brilliant color of maple leaves. Sendai is a haven for visitors. Nourished by her old history and tradition, Sendai is constantly developing. The 450,000 people of Sendai wish that their friendship with Riverside would promote mutual understanding. This is Sendai. A clatter of geta, traditional wooden footwear of the past, merge with the resounding sounds of construction building towards a more prosperous tomorrow. In the heart of the people, there is a feeling of friendship for Riverside, goodwill extending beyond the national boundary. There exists no boundary. for the ocean and the sky are highways of friendship.